We'll have a couple more people following. But
Just don't forget to record.
I already started it. I'm on.
I guess it's lazy Sundays in crypto. It's like everywhere's quiet.
Yeah, I think with it being after the holidays, everybody's just kind of relaxing.
this is always a real exciting time. And if you've been in it for a few years, just right after the holidays, at the end of December, early January, there's always like a little roll of the dice, how everything's going to play out, and uh, it's always exciting. Um, Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you all for joining us this evening for this wonderful day. I'm sorry I've been a little bit absent today. I've been actually trying to plug away as much as possible on a couple loose ends that we have, for a couple key features that we want to make sure we have in place before we move on with any further larger listings. We will be pursuing some of those this week. I do believe everybody should be aware now of the nomic listing. That's exciting. That's definitely going to help out with any further applications that we have. That's a big shout out to Luca. He's not even in here. Where's Luca?
I don't know. I'll go tag him and see if I can get him in here.
Anyway, so big shout out to Luca. He's really been a huge help there as far as doing all those applications and talking to those people. He's well experienced with it, and he knows more about it than, for instance, I do. So he takes care of all that stuff, and he's been doing a fantastic job. And I wholeheartedly trust his strategy when it comes to applying for those things. I've seen him in action before. I know he knows what he's doing. It works, and so far, I think the proof has been in the pudding, and we'll get there. And I think as soon as we do apply, it'll be almost an instantaneous listing. At least I hope so. I don't want to, jinx myself or anything like that, but I believe so. And again, that will be coming up this week. Things are moving steadily, very stable. I think the team's got to a comfortable point right now as far as the metrics. Tomorrow will be another good day for judging volume and stuff like that. But we should have some advertisements rolling out, and we're expanding where our banner ads are, and we're expanding the impression rate themselves, or to the best of our ability. A lot of them are, bid ads and stuff like that, but you can only do so much there. We're trying to expand it as best we can. We're also going to be pursuing a couple more other voting sites. We're not listed on all of them. All the ones I think that we have gone after, though, we have already achieved at least the standard listing level, and on most of them I think we've maxed. So that being said, there's more out there to pursue. We will be gathering up some more names or some more lists. Get that in the works for this next week. Try to get all those up as possible. Just get our name in more places. As well, I know Henry and I had already been talking about the new influencers that we're going to be reaching out to, who we're interested in, and who we want to try to work with. That's an ongoing process. I know there's been a lot of talk in the chat about different people that y'all are interested in. We're interested in the same people. We got to do all the right steps on our end, but we're doing that now. The audit is 7 days away now. We should get that result back 7 days from now. That's going to be a big help to us, as well as bringing up our social media scores. And I think we've seen a pretty strong effort in that in the last couple of days. When I say that, like a social media score, I'm not just talking about like, hey, like an internal, we score ourselves on how well we do. Uh, a lot of these places that you're applying for listings and stuff, they have certain metrics they judge uh, your project as a whole, and some of those metrics are directly tied to your social media engagement. And the easiest way that like they, you know, inspect that stuff and figure out what's going on is just by looking at like keywords, taglines, and stuff like that. So as long as we're sharing the same stuff with each other, that goes like super far. Um, just make sure that we're using the same hashes and stuff like that. Try to populate the exact same ones. If we can populate it the exact same way that our token itself is displayed, for instance, on like BSC scan and in your wallet and on any listing site, then that would be perfect because that's just a quick match, verifiable. This project has this social engagement going on, therefore they are a more legitimate project, so on and so forth. A lot of our token scores that we have right now on the different uh like token sniffer platforms and stuff like that, our scores themselves are the only like the heaviest thing holding us down right now. It's just because we're so new, so we don't have that strong social media score impact. It's going to come quick, but as soon as as soon as we do get that up a little bit, overall it'll help our overall average a whole lot because we've got like a 0 in that category, and then we've got good scores of pretty much everything else, and it just brings our overall scores down quite heavily. And that's like that's something that the team itself will coordinate that effort and try to push hard for to make it as easy as possible for the community at least. Now, the next thing that I wanted to talk about this evening is uh, earlier this morning we did have some profit taking and stuff like that, a little bit of a dip. I think we made a quite healthy recovery from that, and we continue to move upwards, continue to get new holders. All that's very exciting. I'm extremely excited about that. Only thing I wanted to mention is that uh, we will always be supportive of anybody that is able to take profits. If you take profits because you need to or because you want to, like it's a smart thing for you, that's your decision. And I would like everybody to always be supportive of that. That's it's a part of the mission. It's a part of why we're here. We're trying to lift up as many people as possible, as fairly as possible. That being said, whenever you do take profits, keep that in mind and take them fairly. Make sure you have the right price impact in mind and stuff like that. It's beneficial to all. You get more of your actual profits, and it sustains the project as well. But that being said, you're never going to hear me being upset that somebody was able to take profits, especially on a project that I am the creator of. That's my goal, is to make sure that everybody that's around profits and we all rise up together and we build a fantastic company that produces fantastic products and gets a large user base engaged, generating commerce and producing reflection profit for everybody who's in and is holding long term. That being said, again, let's always try to keep all of that talk positive. Anytime that we are talking about it in the community, we definitely don't want to see anybody just dump in their bags. That's always depressing. But at the same time, always remember that you never know what somebody's taking profit for. I remember whenever I was a real early investor, there were situations where I had to dump a bag that I had to like pay and stuff like that. So it's good that it's there, and it's really good if we're able to help provide that. That being said, everybody hold on for life. Anyway, and again, I don't want to get too serious about all that stuff, but I also don't ever want to see any disparaging comments or anything like that towards any other community member over doing something that's intended to happen in any project that you're in. That being said, after that happened, the community came together. We ate that tip. We're moving forward stronger now, and everybody got rewarded in some beautiful BUSD, and that's how it's supposed to work. Because of that increased volume, we also have an increased marketing budget, and we have an increased buyback budget, and so on and so forth. And that's how it works, and that's how we're able to sustain the economy long term within the token project itself. Is even in times of sell pressure, it's beneficial to the core project itself, and we're able to come back clean out of the gates on the other side. We didn't even have to really use our buyback or anything like that during this experience. I did a burn early this morning whenever the selling was actually going on, just to put a quick mitigation on that sell pressure, and it did work. We pretty much stopped at that level for at least for a while. We did dip a little bit lower later on, but not very much. And then the community itself was awake and alive, and we all came together, rallied, and brought it all back up. Anywho, and we will always try to respond like that accordingly. But we, once the team itself was all awake and able to converse with one another, we felt there was no need to take any further action with any buybacks or anything like that. And I feel like that was the right move. So the militia took care of it. Did everybody have a good Christmas? If you weren't in here last night, and I missed you, let me know how your Christmas went. Like right now, I think you can hop on voice and tell me if you had a good Christmas.
Hey man, it went good. I finally got a 4-foot castle built. It takes up half of my house now, and but seeing the smile on the kids' faces, it's priceless.
Yeah, I got to do the builds. I got a doctor's thing to build and a huge art center, and I have no help. Oh well, another few.
Yeah, I got lucky this year. I didn't have to build very much. I put together the one train, and then everything else was like already put together out of package. It worked out. But I will say this much: like even though the Polar Express train that we got on was a Lionel train, it's still like one of those like quote unquote limited editions where it's not actually like an appropriate gauge track. It's like a display track essentially. So like yes, you can get the pieces, but the pieces aren't like readily matching the pieces that you already own versus like an HO or an O gauge track. So long story short, of course, moving his Polar Express train from like house to house because he had to take it with him, we lost one piece of track. And after you lose one piece of track like that, you can't complete the track the way it's supposed to be built. Then you have to like try extra hard to figure out another way to make it. Anyway, we did get it all back together for him, and he's happy again. But it caused a serious meltdown. In fact, today was a rough day for him, to tell you the truth. But had a rough day. Anyway, oh my gosh, I'm standing on my front porch and now I'm realizing I got to take out all these Christmas decorations too. Terrible. Okay. Does anybody have any questions related to the project? Any questions, concerns, or anything that they just want to talk about?
I'm pretty clueless to the meta world, but it was pretty cool. Did anybody watch that Chiefs game today? I don't know if you guys had the same commercials, but there was a virtual reality commercial. These two guys playing each other, and they live right next to each other. And then at the end, all of a sudden, it says "Welcome to the Meta World," and it had our Meta logo on, really pink, but the white one. And I was like, I'm clueless to this stuff. I go to see it now. I think this stuff's gonna be picking up. I'm hoping this is gonna just make us go to the sky, man. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. To give you like a bit of understanding there too, I've had a long history of VR interaction one way or the other, if not with direct development, then just consumer enjoyment. Uh, you know, I've always followed VR early on, and I did realize the breakaway difference that um, once Facebook did get involved with Oculus, which a little bit of like background there. Oculus was definitely set out to make the very best VR experience, um, bar none. And for instance, if you're anybody who's in here who's been using the Oculus for a while on there's multiple platforms, you've used the PC as well, then you know that like right now, currently, for instance, the Quest 2 games are awesome. They're cool. They're very, very cool. They're amazing. And I don't want to sell them short. But there are some amazing titles out there for PC that are actually even like a little bit older now. But the development has like ran a little bit short on the PC VR stuff as of late as far as AAA high end stuff because you have such a takeoff with the Oculus Quest. So now all the development has kind of moved towards that direction because that's where the money making is right now. Long story short, sorry, tangent. Gosh, anytime you get me on VR tangent, sorry. Point of the story is that Oculus was focused heavily on giving you the very best high end experience at like a semi affordable rate. And then when Facebook got involved, you can immediately tell that, oh no, they're going to push this to the mainstream as quickly as they possibly can in whatever manner they can. And some of their early updates that they came out with for the Quest, um, some of the features itself were just like real nice, real good game changers. And you can see the direction that they're trying to push it and whether or not like it'll actually fully come together under Facebook. Right now, it seems like it will. More than likely, that's just the direction that the path it's been on. So it's probably going to stay that way. There has been some pushback in the industry with some competitors, but not enough. And to tell you the truth, this is another situation where you almost want some level of centralization just in a VR ecosystem in order to facilitate some of the higher end user experiences that you would want. And what I mean by that is, and this is, I'm so sorry, guys, such a tangent, but okay. So if you have a headset and you load up, whenever you load up, you go into what's called your home, and you are in a room that is whatever you want it to look like, but that's your personal place. You can then from that menu or from that room, you can usually raise a menu, contact people that you have on your friends list, or load games. Recently, you've been able to now like party with people in your room. Currently, I don't believe there is a released version that actually pairs the person with you in the virtual space, but I have seen beta versions, even from the Oculus team itself, that pairs the person with you in your space, in your home. And that's a significant upgrade. But up until very recently, the most you could do is just like chat with somebody else. And whenever you would go from, say, your room where you have your own avatar that looks like you and so on and so forth, say you go from there to another game. Once you get in that game, you lose the function of like that avatar because it doesn't pull from like that data set at all. It's just its own internal app data system. So you now have to like load a new avatar and create something else. And it might not like be at all the same or have the same look and feel as your normal day-to-day avatar that you use in just like the Oculus home setting. and within like the Oculus app features. Anyway, my point is you almost want some level of centralization, like one controlling power, to help facilitate the growth and change within those functions and features where you can carry over one account through everything and that one so on and so forth. The same way like we've all allowed the open source of free Google Suite system, we've all enjoyed that. Everybody here, I'm sure, that's listening right now has a Gmail account, a Gmail password. They use Google Sheets or Google Docs, so on and so forth. So that's the other option, is to just go with like a good open source, like Android platform VR headset, and that might happen as well, and that might like be like a real cut to Oculus overall. But as of right now, on the market, from what I can see, Oculus has such a lock on certain feature sets that are hard to develop, like just without spending a lot of time and research into it. So I would think that they've got such a head start that at least for a while, there's probably not going to be a real competitor in that exact space. I think it's different when you talk about AR and XR. XR is mixed reality, and you got to look at Microsoft and Microsoft. It's doing amazing. And then look at Apple for probably releasing some really cool AR tech this next year. All right. I guess also I should answer with, yes, man, it's taking off right now. Yeah, we jumped into a great space. Sorry, guys. But that's really to answer his question. Yes, this is a great space to be involved in. It's something that I've had high interest in for a long time. I've been attached to some other crypto projects, so obviously that's an interest of mine as well. The two blended well together. I know a lot of devs. I knew I could put some stuff together, and that's where we are now. We are here. So I'm glad everybody likes the project, likes the idea, and I promise that I will train myself to not go off on a tangent like that whenever we talk about VR the next time. I'm really sorry. I'm sure that was like seriously 10 minutes. It's embarrassing. Is there any other questions?
Brother, go off. Every time you talk about VR, I want to hear a ramble like that, man. You get me more interested in the project every time you go on those rambles. Keep doing it, brother.
I feel like such a nerd afterwards, though, and then I'm not. Anyway,
That was
I'm so
nature.
sorry.
I haven't seen nature in a while.
No, I love that you're passionate about it. I love that you're passionate about it. That makes this project even, more real for me.
I agree. That's what sells it. I figure, when people say they think it's a meme coin, I get it. Then if they come and listen to this part, I think that's where you shift off. When you hear about the tech and what the future and the utility is, I think that sells this more than just MetaBUSD and reflections.
Fair. And I've always been honest with the entire community, and I think I've said this before in a previous AMA. We very much knew what we were doing, as far as the name, the look, and the feel, and we chose to ride that line. To be clear, that was an active decision to ride that line of, moonshot meme versus actual real project, as far as just the look and the aesthetic of it, just because we knew that early on we would need to have like that glamour, hey, pop to us, just hey, I should at least take a look at this. And let's be real, for everybody who's here, you almost always at least take a quick look. It's a weird meme. Like it's just how it goes. So we knew we were riding a thin line there. We definitely did lean away from the meme overall, and we don't want to really be a meme point or associated that way. But we knew that early on we would need that appeal to both audiences, if that makes sense. I think you've seen that with other major projects that everybody knows today. Evergrowth coin, stuff like that. Um, when you really look at it and you take you just obviously that was all planned out one way or the other. Like they chose that name because they knew, yes, it does stand for what we are, but it's also a memeish name and it'll catch on quick. And that's how that stuff works. Anyway, but no, we are not actually a meme coin whatsoever. This is a very serious project, and it does just take somebody not even listening to me, but just hanging out with the community for a little bit to, I think, really get that feel. That being said, small things like our audit being in place and available on the website, along with our white paper, are things that the team is rapidly working on right now to get finished up and published. And those are things that will definitely help us out whenever we're out of the community talking about the project. I shared a story today with Nick, our Big Henry. Actually, that was like not necessarily a friend of mine, but a friend of a friend. My friend, apparently was talking to him about the project, and he knew nothing about it, had never researched it, had never looked it up, just had heard the name, heard what we were doing, and he immediately was like, "Oh man, no, it's probably a pump and dump or a scam or something. I stay away from it." It was just like his immediate response, and that is something that we will just continue to work extremely hard to make sure that that is not people's immediate response in the future. And the easiest way for us to do that is for all of us to get out together, continue to boost that social media score, make sure people recognize the name, know what it's associated with immediately. Because with all fairness, there has been a lot of weird meta projects come and go in the last like 2 months, I'd say. So I understand where some people are a little hesitant whenever they first hear about it, but if we all do our job, inform them, show them where they can go and get more information about the project, listen to our AMA, look at our pictures, check out my LinkedIn, so on and so forth. I think we have enough now to make people feel comfortable, but once we have that audit and the white paper in place, it would be a real home run, I think. I hope, at least. And as well, I did mention already, I am already working on a revamp of the website, clean it up a little bit, look a little bit more crisp, and a little bit more business leaning versus where it is now. That's the best way I could say. Is there any other questions from the community?
I had one if I could.
Absolutely.
It was, and also thanks for keeping us so in the loop over the holidays. I know that's not easy to do when you have a family and everything. So I appreciate the team for that for sure. My question is sort of a newbie question, but what sort of criteria do we have to meet to get a CoinMarketCap listing strictly through volume and things like that? Thanks.
So, strictly speaking, as far as like, can you be listed on CoinMarketCap? The volume criteria is fairly low. We're well past that. I don't want to give an exact number off the top of my head. I want to say it's probably something around $10,000, maybe even less, like $5,000 daily volume. They will track you. Once you fall below that volume, they'll stop tracking you. That being said, as far as the actual criteria goes, we have already met all of those standards for a while now. That being said, we have team members who are well experienced with CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko listings. They know how it works. And if you aren't paying for the listing itself, and to pay that price, it's a ginormous price, we just don't want to do. So if you're not going to pay for the listing, then if you want to actually get listed, when you apply, you need to make sure that your metrics, your standards are just high enough that they almost can't say no to you, if that makes sense. So, and the other part of the whole deal is we also, as a team, wanted to make sure that we had certain measures in place on our end that whenever we did get the coin market cap and CoinGecko listing, that we were ready and prepared to deal with anything that may or may not happen after the listing, in the following days or weeks afterwards. A lot of projects see a huge pump, and they see a nice dip. We want to make sure that if that does happen, that we're properly set up to address that dip, make a quick turnaround, and continue to move forward. So that's another reason why we wanted to just, I don't want to say wait, because it's not waiting. We are preparing. It's not waiting, because we're not waiting on it. We don't want to wait any on it. We just want to make sure that we're prepared for it and everything's taken care of to the best of our ability. The other thing you got to consider is you have that listing, but you don't have things like your audit and your white paper out. Yeah, you might get the everyday investor, but you might not get some of those large, big play movers that come from the coin market cap or CoinGecko listing. So we just wanted to make sure that we had all those things in place, and we are getting them taken care of right this very moment. As well, we've got our volume to a reasonable level. We can definitely go higher, and we would like to hit $50,000 daily volume. Would be ideal for us. That's our number as far as what we wanted to have whenever we make our listing. We're not far off from that now. And we do feel confident that over the next couple of days, we're going to continue to grow. So we kind of do have a tentative date for Wednesday application. I'm not sure exactly how long it'll take, obviously. It might be one day. It might be, much longer than that. But we will see. And we'll keep the community informed as that process takes place. As well, yesterday I had mentioned in the AMA something that we are strongly considering. And we, of course, we never would make an action like this without informing and asking the community. So we will set up a poll for this. But on the day of the coin market cap listing, we would like to turn off the burn, the automatic burn, the 1.5%, and switch that to added marketing. So instead of the marketing being, I believe marketing is only 2% right now. So instead of the marketing being 2%, it would be 3.5% for that 24-hour period. All the overall tax would stay the same. Nobody would see a difference on their actual transactions. We would just, that day, not burn anything automatically, gain more marketing funds for continued marketing after the coin market cap listing, and we would turn that burn right back on at the end of that 24-hour period and, lower the marketing fee back down. Again,
Hell yeah.
we think it's a great idea, but we're not going to just do it. We will definitely make sure the community is okay with this, make sure they know that that's what we're doing, and inform everybody about it. Like I said, we'll vote on it, make sure that everybody is okay with it. That's what they agree with as well. Like I said, I think it's a good idea. It would really help us if we do end up seeing a little bit of a dip. We'd be able to expand on some heavier marketing, maybe get some bigger name influencers, depending on the type of volume that we see on that one day. And you'd be surprised how quickly it adds up.
That sounds like a great idea. Great idea.
Yeah. We think it's a fairly good idea. And again, I think the community is going to be on board with it, but we would never want to make a move like that, especially when it has anything to do with the contract itself, without letting everybody know that is what we're doing. And again, I'm sure everybody would be on board. Man, I am extremely exhausted. Does anybody else have any questions or concerns? Right. Hey, Nick, when did you say the video coming out tomorrow from Bree?
No, the video already came out.
I'm so sorry, man. I've been tied up. I'm so sorry. It came out. I'll go like it right now.
Yeah, you're good. I was wondering if you saw it because I saw you were offline and it posted. I think it posted right around like 6:30. 6:30 my time. Sorry, so it'd be 7:30 your time. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
can't remember.
it dropped. So everybody that's in here, Bree released a little video on her Twitter. She does like video shout outs for projects. She dropped one for us. We need to blow that up. We need to share it, like it, comment. Commenting is probably the most important thing, honestly. And I know I need to get better at it too, but we definitely need to start commenting on all the stuff that we have come out, the YouTube videos, all of the Twitter stuff we do. Uh, it's just better. It gets us out there and it makes people know that we're legit instead of, people just say, hey, good project. Like, let's see some like LFGs, talk a little bit about the team or whatever, you know, share a picture of the chart. Stuff like that is really, really going to help boost us.
You should post a side by side of Henry and Zach's G95. That's what everybody should do.
Yeah, I guess that's going to become a thing.
Yes, it is going to become a thing. If I have anything to say about it, it will become a thing.
Just like Cody has to change his name now.
And honestly, whatever everybody is doing, yeah, it is working. Like I said earlier, I do just have like random bigger names that I don't want to share just randomly DMing me. Like it's happened now like 4 times in the last like 24 hours, and and it's never about anything specific. It's just about like a random like, hey, what's going on? Hey, Merry Christmas. How you doing? Like, good.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the best way. Like, it's like they're sliding into your DMs, but it's like, hey, before we get down to business, like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, that's like for just the random like public figures. The token people, I've had a lot of projects hit me up randomly, get in my DMs and like, hey, you want to work together? You want to collaborate? Your chart's looking great, man. What have you been doing? How's it working for you? Blah blah blah. No, mind your business. Stay in your lane.
They'll figure it out. I did like how Crypto Zeus posted his thing, and I did like how we got on there and said, hey, we need to hit this tweet, and there was like 10 comments right after that, all of MetaBUSD, and that's great. We want to go for Crypto Zeus in the future. We want to get a video from them. We're kind of waiting to update all of our stuff. I know somebody asked me earlier, but we're going to wait till we get the website updated, the white paper, all that stuff out, and then we'll start trying to approach them a little bit. But it'd be even better if we saw a tweet from him saying, hey, what altcoin he's looking at, and we just blew him up and we got his attention that way. Then he's coming to us saying, hey, tell me a little bit more about your project. Don't know if he would do that, but the best case scenario, that'd be awesome.
I was just thinking he wouldn't. Out of my head, I was like, oh, and that's not gonna happen. Zeus is the man. He's like, he would. I feel like just out of like pure OG status, he wouldn't play it that way. Even if he was highly interested and wanted it involved, he'd figure out a way to not play it that way.
Yeah, I mean, maybe so, but I figure if we can just blow all this stuff up, if he sees 50 comments every time he makes a tweet saying MetaBUSD, it has to get his attention.
He's pretty much like one of those musts for me. At some point, he will make a video. I'll figure that out. If I have to fly down to Australia, I'll make that happen. I'll figure it out. he's gonna make a video for me one way or the other. Because like him and Trades actually are like some of the only people that I ever have and ever do watch. There's one other guy that I watch, and I don't want to put his name out there because I don't actually watch him for like yes, he's a crypto guy, but I don't necessarily watch him because of his actual crypto content. Dude just has great vibes. Dude's got great vibes and puts out some really chill videos. I'm not going to say his name right now because we are in talks, but we will have more information out later about that. Anyway, any other questions about the project anybody has? Awesome. I did mention to everybody about a week ago about a deck listing that we are currently like in negotiations with. Just to give you a quick update on that, that is still just ongoing negotiations. It slowed down for the holidays and stuff. I'll be reapproaching that probably Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. I've got a couple other things that are on the top of my list that I need to get worked out. And it's still really early for us to be doing something like that. The only reason why we're doing it is because the partnership would allow us to accept like credit card processing through our site to buy the coin directly. So you can facilitate the trade a little bit easier. They're still paying the gas fees on the swaps and everything like that, but it's all like, behind the paywall, if that makes sense. Anyway, if there's no other questions or concerns or anything, I'll probably hop off here and I'll be in and out of chat as usual. If anybody has anything they want to add or ask me later, you can always DM me. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you all very, very much. And I really appreciate everybody. I think we've done a fantastic job so far. The community has been strong. I am extremely happy with everybody's performance, and I don't mean just the team. I really do mean the community itself. You guys are getting out there and putting in the work. A lot of the times I'm caught up busy, either just networking with somebody or actually working on project itself, that I don't have the like time to get out there and do promotion stuff as much as I want to. And every time I think about it, as soon as I go to do it, I see everybody out there putting in that work. I try to follow you guys back. I try to like tag you and like all your stuff as well. You'll see me going burst. I'll hop on like Twitter and I'll just hit everybody's stuff real quick, and then I'll hop off, and then I'll hop back on like 3 hours later, hit everybody's stuff. So I might be retweeting old stuff sometimes, and I'm sorry for that, but I'm just trying to make sure that I'm engaging with as many of you as possible. And I appreciate every single one of you. At this point, we almost feel like family with as much stuff as we've been through last week. But it's been a fantastic week. We are 1 week old now, right? Am I correct on that?
We launched, what, the 18th or 19th? It was the 19th. So yeah, we'd be a week old.
Yeah, we're 1 week old, guys. 1 week old. We're so early. Everybody here is so early. Thank you all very, very much. And if I would have realized that we were a week old earlier, I would have made this more of a celebratory thing. But tomorrow we're gonna do like the more of the formal AMA. This week, I'm gonna keep it on Discord. I think we are in talks to try to figure out a way that we can maybe hold it on Twitter, like the following week, with Spaces. We will be talking about that, and we'll keep the community informed with the information as soon as we have it. That being said, tomorrow's AMA will be a little bit more formal. Nick, what time did we decide?
We were gonna do it earlier tomorrow, so 1 p.m. Eastern, I think is what we decided.
Okay, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll get all that stuff posted out tonight, and we'll probably repost about it in the morning. It will be recorded as usual, so if anybody can't catch it, you can always check up on it later. But it will be like one of our first like more scripted AMAs. That way we can actually go through bullet points of all of our accomplishments, everything that we've done so far, what we're currently working on for like this current week, and what the road ahead looks like for us over like the next month. We're gonna try to do that, lay out once a week. That way we can eat like if there's a new investor that's coming in and there's one video or one recording that you want them to watch or listen to, it's that one. Versus all of these voice chats that we have in between, where it's a lot more laid back, a little bit more informal. We're just kind of chatting with one another. I'm trying to share information as I get it, but like I said, just one compiled good one, and then we can still do our daily thing here, and we're just chilling. Alrighty, guys. Well, that's it for me. But unless anybody has any other questions, I'm here to answer them. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
Yeah.